I'm Scott Payne. They call me the old farmer. Is the Grizzly H7565, a 14-inch serrated plane, only good for doorstop? Or is it something to consider for planing wood? Stay tuned and find out.
I want to go back, he wants to go back. I want to go back to the farm, far away from home, with a milk pail on my arm. I miss the rooster, the one that used to wake me up at 4 a.m. down on the farm.
Grizzly offers the H7565, a 14-inch hand plane, at about $40. They also have more expensive planes if you're so inclined. My main plane is a Bailey that Mrs. Old Farmer's grandfather used. It's a good plane. The Grizzly H7565 plane, I'm planning to convert to a scrub plane for hogging off wood. When I ordered the Grizzly plane, I called in the order because I wanted a second iron so that I would have an option to use it as a scrub plane or a smoothing plane. The supplier refused to offer any parts to Grizzly, was the reply when I switched over to tech support on the phone. I know I can find another iron to fit, but it concerns me that Grizzly failed to negotiate for parts or find another supplier that would offer parts. Those not familiar with Grizzly might write them off as a dependable source for tools. I'd hate to see that happen. I wanted to see how well the plane will work right out of the box. Even a $400 plane needs some tweaking in before it's ready to use. The iron was sharp out of the box. As you can see, I checked the sole for flatness and checked to see if the body was a true right angle. I think just about all of us would say it's acceptable, except maybe Rob Cosman, who uses $400 planes and really understands woodworking. After I did these samples right out of the box, I did a quick sharpening. I found it very acceptable, considering that the iron was not as sharp as it should be. The next day, I cleaned the plane. I sharpened the iron to 1000 grit, and then stropped until I had a mirror finish on it. I didn't use any wax on the sole while planing, but the serrated sole does reduce drag. Even right out of the box, it was buttery smooth with pine. I also tried it on a piece of ash and had a bit of an effort. I didn't realize until the next day that I was planing the ash against the grain. What other negatives? I found the depth adjustment knob to be loose with a bit over a half turn before engaging. It does make it harder for fine-tuning the iron. I don't consider that a deal breaker for a $40 plane. The plane is heavier than what most folks may be used to when planing, but as I have found over the decades, we can adjust to things. The weight is not enough to be fatiguing. The wood on the plane is a good quality, but not the traditional rosewood. It could use either a bit more sanding or more layers of finish. I can either do a bit of light sanding, but I might just go with some kind of wax and buff it out and wait for usage to smooth the wood to what it should be. It kind of reminds me of the Norris design in hand planes. I kind of like that. My final thoughts are, this is a good starter plane, or a backup plane, or what I bought it for, a scrub plane. The 14-inch length helps with evening out wood. I would still like to use something like a number 4 Stanley plane, such as the one from Marty's grandfather, to do my final passes. But I do like the plane, and if you understand the differences, and they do not bother you, then the Grizzly H7565 just might be something you might want to look into. As a last comment, I think if nothing else, it does make a great doorstop. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bame. Be well.
Down on the farm.